welcome back to my podcast with Love and Honesty. I am your host, Penelope Gabriella, and today's episode we will be talking about following your intuition. So, according to Google, it is a noun, intuition, and it is the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. I don't know if I like that. My definition of it is when you get a feeling in your chest or in your stomach. For those of you who are very in tune with your intuition, you know what I'm talking about. You have this feeling, you know what it is. I have had it so many times throughout my life. So I'm going to use two examples of my life. One had been really recent. Last week, I think it was Thursday or Friday, I was going on my dinner shift from my job, and I was craving the little cinnamon twist sticks from Taco Bell. I don't eat Taco Bell at all. I don't do that, but the cinnamon twists, can't lie, they're pretty good. I think it gave me 2 or 3 different ways of going there, and it was not far away from me. It was like, I think a 10-minute drive, maybe 8, depending on which way. And it brought me through one route where I had to go through the back, and I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll go through there. And then I was thinking about the other way where it was a little bit longer by like a minute or 2. So I saw how it was, and I had thought to myself, maybe I should go this way. But then I had something tell me, I don't think we should go that way. Maybe let's just go try going safer where we just go straight, and then you could just put your signal and turn to the right. Because on the right hand side, instead of going the other way where I would just like stay, I think, at a light and then turn, and it'll be right there. I had decided to go the longer way. On my way there, I'm taking my time. I don't need to rush. I'm like, it's 45 minutes. I got time. I got this. Like, whatever. We'll be there and come back. I'm 2 minutes away from Taco Bell, right? 2 minutes away. 2 or 3. It's right down the road. I'm excited. I'm about to get my cinnamon twist. Think again. I had, all of a sudden, 3 cop cars behind, just trying to get through traffic, because this is in the middle of when everyone's kind of getting out of work. I ended up being there for, I think, 15 minutes. So 15 minutes of my break gone already. And then they had to redirect. They had to close the street. All of a sudden you see fire trucks come and a whole big commotion. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, well, an accident must have just happened. And it had just happened on, oh my goodness, I'm like literally shaking just like talking about this, because I remember how I was feeling in the moment. It happened on the way where I was going to take. And I just had a moment of realization where you're just reflecting over your life, and I'm really thinking to myself, oh my goodness, that could have been me if I went that way. Literally just, it just happened too, because there's no way that, I had just avoided that. Everything just happened really quickly. I didn't see it happen, but it happened, I guess, a couple of seconds before I was able to get to that specific spot. That could have really been me. Something, God forbid, could have really bad happened to me if I didn't follow my intuition. And usually when I don't follow my intuition, I get really nervous and I have a really bad feeling, and I try to ignore and be like, oh, whatever, it's in my head. No. You cannot ignore that feeling. It is there for a reason. You need to follow through with it. For those of you who are watching the video version of this episode of the podcast, I'm sorry for all of a sudden, like, the change of how I look, because this is another day. I was learning how to surf. That was on my birthday vacation trip for my 21st birthday. I went to Hawaii with my best friend, and funny thing was that I was the one hesitant on doing it, because I have this fear of the water, like the ocean. Because for those of you who have a fear of the ocean, you guys know what I'm talking about. Just the animals there. Not all the animals, but just like knowing that there are animals that are still not discovered in the ocean, and, they could possibly pop up out of nowhere. It's a whole big thing. I was hesitant on getting up on the board because I just didn't really trust myself. But something in me was telling me, get up. Come on, you can get up. Get up, because there's certain steps. For those of you who know how to surf or know what I'm talking about, there are several steps of you like going up on the board. You don't just go up. It's just like a whole big thing that goes 1, 2, 3, and you go like up. So there's a whole big little routine that you do before actually going up on the surfboard and then riding on the wave. So I was about to, but I was hesitant and I was scared. I was like, no, 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 I can't do this. And then I got so angry at myself. I got so mad at myself because the little voice in my head was telling me, girl, what are you doing? You know you could have gotten it up. I had the feeling that I could have gotten up. And if I couldn't get up on the board, just throw yourself in the water. It's fine. Just swim a little bit and you'll be fine. And then go back on the surfboard. When I did not go up on that surfboard, oh my goodness, I was so mad at myself. Just that frustration. So when I was paddling again, back to where I was, the spot, back to the instructor, he was like, what happened? Because he saw I was about to, but I hesitated. I'm like, I don't know. I just couldn't do it. He's like, just try getting up. And if you fall, who cares? It should have been the first try, but second time's a charm. It's fine. I had given myself grace. I then got up on that surfboard. Let me tell you, that feeling was incredible. I have never felt anything as cool as that. It's not really, I can't even describe it to you. That whole little feeling of just riding on top of the water was so cool. Being on a surfboard for 1 hour, that was enough for me. I was so tired. My muscles hurt. I had gotten a bruise on my hip. That was really painful because I kept throwing myself on top, just like being on top. And I'm a very tiny person, so I kind of bruise easily. That anger that I got with myself, oh my goodness, so mad because I did not listen to myself. And I understand that it's a little bit scary taking that risk a little bit, or doing something for the first time, or trying something out, or maybe wanting to do something or make a decision. It's really hard to kind of see and distinguish what goes on with your brain and what you feel internally inside as well. I had learned from that experience to kind of go more about trusting myself and knowing when something's right, to not ignore the feeling, because clearly if you have this whole feeling in your body that tells you you can do it, you like, what's stopping you but yourself, then that's a problem where you're not having proper connection relationship between yourself and your body and your whole intuition and your whole soul as well. It takes practice with it as well, and grace, and you have to be really patient with yourself, because at the same time, a lot of people kind of don't really know how this works. Listening to your intuition isn't something that a lot of people can relate on, or they just don't have that experience just quite yet because they're not so in tune with their whole well-being and who they are as a person as well. I see it as a blessing in disguise because it can save you from a lot of harm that you don't necessarily see yourself or may not really understand in the moment. And if you want to go to a place but something's telling you, you know what, I don't really think that we should go, but then you go anyways, and then you have a really shitty night, or you're meeting a person and they're really not that nice to you and they're really mean to you, and then you're thinking to yourself, I really should have just stayed home instead of going out. Why did I do this? Because you ignored your intuition, and you probably were given signs too by the universe. Maybe you couldn't find your car keys, or maybe if you ordered an Uber or something, it canceled on you, and then you have to reroute and find a way to get there. When things don't really align during your plans that you want to do or go out, it's going to be shown to you more than once. And if you don't listen to the first sign, it's going to keep repeating the cycle, and the universe and whatever you believe in religion wise is going to keep showing you that. And when it shows you over and over and over again, and you keep just not listening, there's an issue. There's a huge issue on that, and you just end up hurting yourself at the end and probably giving yourself more trauma that is really not necessary for you to go through with. It could also lead you to amazing opportunities and amazing people that you didn't even think would come by in your path. Usually when your intuition is trying to tell you something, it's not you feeling crazy and thinking that it's all in your head. It's something internally is showing you something that you cannot visually see. This is reference because I see it a lot on TikTok, social media, Instagram in general, where girls have this feeling, intuition, where they're like, you know what, I think he may be cheating on me, but no, I'm not so sure. And then they're like, wait, I'm not wrong. I was right. And if you see their whole story on how it is, whether they put an air tag in the car or they tracked his phone down or they tracked something from the receipt that he had gotten, some crazy stuff, some crazy investigation, FBI of a case. I see videos like that. I'm just like, girl, if you had a feeling and you went through with it and you know what, you called it up, that is really following your intuition. But don't be trying to then contradict yourself and think that you're crazy because you think that something's not right and they're trying to gaslight you and manipulate you and tell you, oh, no, 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 no. Like, that's not right. It's in your head. And just try to tell, no, girl, if you do not feel like something is right, it's not right. Your body is also going to pick up on the signs because I had explained earlier that when I was trying to surf and learn how to surf and I was trying to pick myself up on the board and my body was ready to get up. But then I stopped myself and I forced myself down. I'm like, no, 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 we're staying on the board. I'm just, no, like a little kid on it. Just, no, I don't want to get up. My body reacted to it. Like your body will also sense it as well. If it's not a feeling, your body will just pick up on it and do something that you didn't even know about. Your reflexes will show you so much as well because then you get surprised. You're like, whoa, all of a sudden my body just did that. Why did it just do that? Because your reflexes know as well how to protect you or when is it okay for you to, go about certain things and do things that's meant for you. And that is when you're ready to do it as well. Your body will pick it up and it will either react for you if you don't physically react on it yourself. It amazes me too when your body can sense things that you don't necessarily know how to sense just quite yet. And when you do, then you're just very shocked and surprised at yourself because then you're like, wow, this is really protecting me in the best way that's possible. One of the ways how you can try to get in tune with yourself is to take a break from working so hard, from studying too hard, from being so hard on yourself and allowing yourself to have time to feel, just breathe and give yourself a breather and give yourself a break. Or if you're in a better, warmer place right now, take advantage of going outside, doing something that brings you so much more peace and that doesn't necessarily stress you out either, because that's something that I think you can find a way to be more in tune with yourself and your vibrations will be able to pick up. And then that's how your intuition will start to guide you along. Figure out healthy ways that are going to be helping you, guiding you to follow your intuition. And one of them is also your environment as well, the people you surround yourself with, because it's very hard to talk about these type of things with people who don't necessarily also have the same beliefs as you. When something's meant for me, I am not nervous about it at all. I'm not scared. I am the calmest I can be. I had a moment where I sat down I was in the car. I sat down coming back from just being out and I just asked myself, why am I so calm about this? I'm not nervous. I'm not anxious. I may be a little uncertain on how this is supposed to lead me in the direction where I need to be, but I am so calm, almost too calm. Am I okay? What's wrong with me? I had never felt like that before, but the past couple months, I have felt like that about a lot of things. And I think it's just really me being more in tune with my intuition and my aura as well, because I am a really anxious person. I think that a lot of my anxiety had been rooted within school. A lot of it had to stem from that and being in really big social gatherings that I wasn't necessarily, I feel like, maybe prepared for, or I didn't really feel so much safe or supported in, from someone who's very anxious and who is so used to that feeling, to all of a sudden being the most calmest in certain situations is the weirdest thing, because I don't really know how I even came to this, because I didn't really pay much attention to it. And that's how I know that I'm on the right path, because I'm not so worried about it And that's how I know it's also meant for me, because if I'm not getting any signs that this is bad, or that I'm not really in a space where I feel very welcomed in or supported in, if I am not receiving any of that, then that's how I know that this is something that's really meant for me. And I am supposed to be in this space, and I'm supposed to be meeting these people, because it is what's going to guide me for the next step or chapter in my life that I may not necessarily know of either, or think that this may be what's necessary for me, but it is. I think that's all I got. Yeah, this is episode 3. I hope you guys liked it. I hope it helped you as well. But thank you so much for listening to my podcast. Again, you can follow me on social media. I will have them linked down below. And I will see you in my next episode. Bye.